All right, we're going to give a quick recap update on the Turbo Malibu that I did a video for back in August, and then got really busy and haven't had much of a chance to follow up on. We concluded that the eBay intercooler was not getting it done. It was actually pretty awful. I modified another eBay intercooler of the same core size. I don't remember if I put a video up or not, but I'm just going to run through this really fast and try to keep this short to the point. So this is what we got with I don't know, about a 4-pound spring, give or take, in the wastegate on this guy. 287 horsepower. I'm not sure why the torque's not showing up, but it's, you know, about the same torque. In the data log, we've got, you can see this bottom line down here is boost. And let me click on that guy. You can see the RPMs and stuff. All right, we're about at peak boost right there at 3,700, 3.5 pounds. As the RPMs go up, you kind of watch the boost drop off, you know, all the way down to 1.5 pounds. So it went from about 3.5 to 1.5 pounds of boost. Not desirable. You can explain that with a couple different things, but really and truly it's not desirable. And compared with the other Garrett intercooler that didn't really drop boost up top, it was really it was disappointing. So let's move on to the modified eBay intercooler real quick. I'm gonna pause this and pick back up. All right, so now I got a new dyno up. This is for the modified eBay intercooler with I flipped the inlet basically to the top instead of coming in from the side. Really not great done. It was kind of a quick hack and proof of concept, if you will, but it did make a difference. It wasn't quite as much of a difference as I was hoping for, if I'm honest. But let's see what we got here on boost. Okay, so oops, there we go. 3,500, 3,600, we're already off a little bit higher, 3.7 pounds instead of 3.5. I should have KPA over here somewhere, do I not? Yeah, map, 128 KPA. And you can see as we go up through the RPMs, it's staying pretty good. I hope this thing's focusing right. But it does start to taper off. And then we dropped all the way down to 6,600. Yeah, that's about where I stopped. See, we dropped down to about 2.6. So it was about a pound better. And some of that's manifested here. We made, what was that, 27? Yeah, 27 more, or 20, sorry, not 27. 20 more wheel. It was not bad for a quick hack. I'll stick a picture of that intercooler in here probably during the transition. And now we're going to move on to the custom intercooler that Greg at Go-Autoworks made for this particular car. There were still some limitations built into that guy. Nothing terribly serious though. And let me pull that data up, and I'll be right back. All right, here we go. This is before I turn the boost up. This is with the new Go-Autoworks intercooler that was built specifically for this car. Greg's got a video on the construction of that. If you'd like to go watch it, I'll be sure to put a link in this video. So right off the bat, it's making, what did it make with the eBay intercooler? 287 horsepower, I think. So that black line was the very first pull with the new intercooler, 355. That's, I don't know, 70 more wheel, give or take, something like that. I'm not 100% sure on that, but 60 or 70 more wheel. It's a pretty significant difference considering there was no tuning differences between swapping the intercoolers. The purple line was after a couple of pulls. I cleaned it up a little bit, added a little bit of timing, and you can tell that, I mean, the graph just looks a little bit better. This was all at the same. Let's see, where are we at here? Where's that line? All right, click back over here. Okay, 3,800 RPMs, 3.8 pounds of boost for, it goes up a little bit. We do have a little bit of a dip here around 58, 59. It drops all the way down from 4 to 2.9, so it bled off about a pound. But then that's just, I guess, the dynamics of the exhaust and everything else right there. It's not really anything crazy. So the way the intake manifold on this car is set up, it had a tendency to want to heat soak really bad. So I don't think we get a whole lot from the manifold air temp, except that here we go. We'll just whack the throttle. It's at 139, and you can see pretty much the whole run. It's coming down. Like I said in the previous video, I would have liked to have had better temperature data on all of these things, just, because I think that sheds up provides another aspect to the whole story. So shut up and get to the point. Let me pull up the data log and dyno graph from the high power run, and I'll put in a video that I shot of the car on the dyno, and we're going to call this one done. And some final thoughts after that. All right, here's where we ended up. If you saw the picture on Facebook, I had a different correction factor, the 1320 correction factor there, STD. And in an attempt to keep all this stuff the same, I'm using the same correction factor I was running on the other previous runs, SAJ, whatever. Anyway, purple is the kind of the final unloaded run on the dyno. Inertial, if you will, and then the blue line is with, I think, 10% static across the board. Doesn't really change much. Theoretically, I should set up the dyno correction so that those numbers are pretty much equal, but I mean, what the hell's 13 horsepower at 600? The cars, obviously, the tune-up wasn't any different. Anyway, so you can see how this whole thing shaped out. It's soft on the start. A lot of that has to do with the converter. And let's look at the data log real quick to go along with this guy, and try and hold the camera steady here and work the computer at the same time. So we started this run 3,200, around 3,200, 2,900, whatever. Actually, I started it at 2,300, and by the time I was full throttle, it was at 3,000. Again, kind of a loose converter on this car, turbo 400, sticky tires on the back. None of these things add up to huge dyno numbers, but I thought it did pretty good, and it's gonna be right on the street. Right off the bat is that heat soak in the intake manifold, 140 degrees almost. Here we are coming up, I think, let's see, where did we peak boost at? That was somewhere around, I think it spiked 16. Had a little bit of a sag there that I couldn't quite tune out with the target thing. And then looks like out the top, we're going to be still somewhere around 16 out the top. And the whole time, we've already shed 10 degrees of 10 or 11 degrees of air temps over the course of this run at it's probably, if we go back, 140 right before the pull starts to 127 at the end. And again, I don't even think that's completely accurate. If we look at the run conditions down here, it was 78 degrees in the shop at that point. And at 16 pounds of boost, the charge piping on the cold side was barely warm to touch. So I think realistically, the air intake temps were probably closer to maybe 100 degrees, 105, something like that. But the sensor's mounted all the way in the back. It's a Holley high ram. It's all aluminum. And pretty much every time I cranked the car up after it got up to temperature, the air temp was reading around 150. So ideally would want that in a charge pipe instead of the intake manifold, but it's not my car, and it still seems to work pretty good. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this this little trip with this customer's car. He's thrilled. I can't wait to see the thing go down the track. I'm thinking mid 130s if everything's good. Maybe a little bit quicker than that, maybe not. And yeah, here's the dyno pull that goes along with this this graph.